Hello, 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 hello. What's the matter, game? There it is. I'm like, why are you not showing up? Why are you not showing up? We're back. I believe we're on day 17. I believe we're on day 17. And today's the epic giveaway day. This is what we got overnight. There's a Feast of the Giants celebration. Featured stuff. Oh, wow. That's like half off. It is half off. It says 50%. Wow. I don't care. Here we go. Starians Champions Renown pack. That's a lot. Thanks. Let's give me my daily platinum. Give us this day our daily platinum. Oh no. I really can't be bothered to care about anything else on this page. Hello, Backlog Battles, J-Dog, Delcoon, Sarkoto, Sergeant, Idle Duck, Death Javu. Hello, hello, hello. Servers just came back up. Really? Because I was told it was a pretty smooth launch, but I guess Dylan was not aware. Alright, check my gem farms. I'll be right back. Okay, it's fixed. Feast of the Giants. All of these, for anybody who's new to this, they're all the same. Everybody gets the same thing. It's not even a chest. It's just it unlocks all of this. And time gate pieces. This is what I was saying. It's gonna help all those new players that are joining right now and get some stuff out of the event. We like that. Or buy the starter pack, please show me where I put your code. Can I show that? I don't. Hold on. I'm like, how does it let me show? Can it let me show this? Somehow. Nope, that didn't do it. I just go to the cart? No. It's empty. Hold on, because I risk. I'm trying to make sure I do this without accidentally buying something. Oh, I would totally buy this anyway. So, go to checkout. Okay. So here, I'm gonna take a screenshot and I'm gonna show you where it is. So it's the white box at the bottom that says enter creator code when you're in the checkout. Like on the page where we're placing the order. I gotta go remove this from my cart. Although it is on sale. But can't be spending money right now. Yeah. Giveaway was destroying the servers too successful. I believe it. Honestly, I believe it. All right, let's get out of here. Are any of those year one champs really WoW worthy? What does World of Warcraft got to do? Oh, hold on. Hold on. Let me see. Wait, where's? I guess it's gonna be under packs. Solid tank. Caddy Bree's in this event, and I've told people to go get her. She's good. Deacon, speed champ that doesn't need gear. Gromma, still one of the most flexible support debuffers in the game. And Zorbu's still in the top grouping of DPS in the game. So it's still a very solid pack. Are people going to go, wow? Maybe not, but for champions that came out 6 years ago, oh, they're all solid. Repipe my Modron question. I came up with an extra E20. Wow, that's a lot. Good job. Good job. Hey, Lurking Rider. Yeah, it's not on the main store page. It's with every purchase you have to put it in. They make it in every purchase type thing. Okay, we are going back to Cali. No, we're not. We unlocked Vajra. We're doing patron stuff today. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. All right, wait. But first, because we unlocked Vajra at the end of the stream yesterday, we now have time gate pieces. Wait, we flexed our champion yesterday, right? Yes. We unlocked Caddy Bree. Okay. It's time gate. Time gate time. Because we have 8 time gate pieces. Which is more than enough. More than enough. So I just want to search. Where's the freaking, why can't I, okay, first unowned, but why can't I just type a name in and go straight to who I want? Why? Alphabetical. At least that's going to give me the right place. Shandy, the hero of Baldur's Gate. All right. We're rocking a Shandy time gate. I just dropped 6 of my precious time gate pieces. Specifically for this champion. She is going to be the third in seat 6. I know. It turns out Cass is in seat 6. Don't care. Shandy, speed champion. We need more speed in my teams. She is a speed champion that doesn't need gear. So we are going to rock and roll Shandy's time game. Oof. Oh, the look of this place. How am I gonna want to do that? Oh well, we got Dragon Bait for that now. Okay, that's fine. So let's do this. We're gonna do an hour of this. This is what I like to do on newer accounts. Let's see if I can build out a decent formation here. That's not gonna do much. We can just, what I want is narrow that too. All right. Okay, now we can focus on it. It's gonna take, this is gonna be slow. That's why we do an hour long one. I went from all nodes are collected at 1 flow to 90% of the nodes connected at 4 flow. That is huge. Yeah, that's kind of the big goal. That's something you usually want to do early on, but it's fine. You did it finally. But usually around, in the past, I've found around like Modron level 7, like core level 7 or 8 is where, by that time, I've usually collected enough pipes that I can then I can epic out everything up to that point. And then you just maintain it the rest of the way. But if not, then yeah, do it later. How many reworks is Zorbo up to now? 2, I remember. Was I privy to the Feast of Giants giveaway before today? No. I didn't even know it was coming until they announced it. It has nothing to do, this type of meta event has nothing to do with my tutorials, so my tutorial shows, so they're not things that I get told about. So the way this works is you log in every day, and if you log in 4 out of the 7 days, you get this Cass skin, but you'll also get Cass if you don't have Cass, and you'll get a feat that's exclusive for him and 3 gold chests for him. Cool. Also today, I think Carlock's on my main account. I need to come over here because if I don't have it, oh, I thought Carlock's skin was available. Crazy. I thought it came for gems today. Oh well. What do we get over here? Unlock Vajra. Yes, we did that. Completed 15 in Waterdeep. Yes. Why are there... Why is there 2 of the same thing? Alright, fine. I don't care. I don't care. You know what I do care about? I think that's enough. Yes, 7,700. 2 weeks away from... Nope, yeah, we're doing it. Nope. Give me that froggy. Froggy. Come on. Okay. Give me the froggy. All right. Yeah, we're going to go there. Ishi's going to go there. Notice Ishi's up to 138. With no help from me. It's just parking her in that Modron automated party overnight. Love it. Love it. That's what we wanted. That's why we chose Ishi. Four-year anniversary of this game, or something unrelated to the game? Like in this game? I might have the skin from the giveaway from before. I don't. Do I? Oh. Maybe? Or is that the new one? I don't know. I don't know. But here's the thing, folks. We just gained a bunch of champions. Let me go to owned here. Look at this. We just filled in Artemis with no gear. Calyx over here in 5 with no gear. Astarion over here with no gear. The Dark Urge over here with no gear. So this is why I'm getting Shandy right now. Shandy fills this gap. Yes, I know Cass, but I want that speed champion. Cass is a bonus. We're not doing Cass DPS, so I don't care. And then 12 will be Miria in this event. And then I just need a seat 1 champion. I just need a seat 1 champion. I could have done Cass here. And Deacon here with the time gate. And then Miria, and we'd have split the party 2 next Wednesday. I get it. I didn't want to. I want Shandy. I'm choosing. I am accepting that I'm going to be it's a little slower than it could have been. because I'd already planned on it being that. But yeah, that would have probably been Deacon would have been the more optimal choice in this scenario. I can't admit that. Yeah, so we got a bunch of chests now. 32 Karlach, 32 Astarion, 32 Dark Urge, 32 Artemis, 32 Calyx, all platinums. We'll do that in a bit. Let's open up these. Oh, hey. Hey. 6 down to 73, Corporate Greens. It's on Azaka. I'll take it. This is Vajra. We will open this later. But so we now have 4 champions that have no gear. So what we're gonna want to do is open Electrums. I want to unlock Shandy first. The Shandy. Well, I guess I'm just worried about leaving Shandy out. So I will hold off. I will be patient on opening that dragon's horde of chests until we get Shandy. Opening the platinum chest. Now we did this math yesterday. It's 300 to 400 item level. Yeah, we did that. The 32 platinums is 300 to 400 and something. Hey, Nathless. How's my core doing? All right, we're over halfway there. We're over halfway to the next level. That's awesome. That'll speed up once we get Shandy too. That's a nice thing. I know there's another 14. I know, but from the 32, they don't have platinums for all those people. The only extra platinums I have are for Karlach. But Karlach's just going to be a swap. Yes, like anybody else, I highly recommend if you are on Epic and you are playing, Karlach should become your primary DPS now. Not Artemis, not the Dark Urge. I know they got chests too. Karlach should be. Yeah. Is there another? Oh, hey. Yeah, she doesn't really need gear. Again, she scales primarily off her... Karlach scales primarily off of her rage. Gear is nice. But because she doesn't have any multiplicative... because she has multiplicatively stacking abilities, scales off her rage. And that's a function of her ultimate, too. But because she doesn't have any that pre-stack, adding tons of item levels doesn't, like... shoot her through the moon or anything. It's nice, but it's not required. So, yeah. But what it is going to do is it's going to make her more survivable if you're going to try to use her as a tank, because it will boost her health item up. She needs that. I'll be honest, didn't know Ren has 3 races and 3 classes. Yeah. You choose based off the specs. The Dark Urge for me is a DPS option when I truly have no other options available. When I've run out of other options. Or my only other option is like Jamila. I'm gonna go the Dark Urge. Wizards 3 is somehow easier to get favor than Fortune's favor. It's because the favor you get, like the gold you get off an enemy, scales based off their health, and the health scaling goes up real fast in Turn of Fortune's Wheel, or excuse me, in Vecna Eva Ruin. So even though it has the same gold curve as Turn of Fortune's Wheel, or gold kind of slight incline, because the health goes up more, it feels better. You still can't go super far with it, but it feels better. Why does Archon have a gold find, feat, and item, but not the roll? That's a great question. Yeah, that's a great question. There isn't an answer for that. It's, I think, partly the role. A role needs to be something that you have an ability for, and the fact that he has a gold find item is still just, it's just weird. It's always been weird. It should have been a health item. If you'll notice, he has no health item, but for some reason they made it a gold find item instead. Like that should have been his health item. But now they don't rework core champions, so. And he never got a rework. Ever. At any point in time that I can remember. So. You got your deck of many things feat? Nice. Artemis has a gold find feat? I mean, I guess the argument is canonically he's a mercenary, and I guess you could say the same thing about Archon, but it's, you know, it's odd. I'm waiting for an Archon gold find strat. It won't ever happen. Because the gold finders in that seed are way too big. Way too big. So here's part of it. Here's probably part of the reason. Back in my day, they had this weird idea of every bench seat has a different focus, and seat 4 was for gold find champions. So you only had like one, like you might only have one true like gold find champion. Guess where it is? Like real big one. It's in seat 4. And they threw some gold find on, like Makos had a little bit, which is Makos fight. Azaka had a little bit, but so then Archon had a little bit. Like they throw just a tad here and there, but seat 4 was the focus for gold find, which is why nowadays there's so many gold find champions in seat 4. People are still like, why are there so many? Because that was originally the gold find seat. And they realized, I think fairly, or after maybe a year or so, that was maybe, or two, that was a bad idea. And so they started diversifying, but it's too late, right? And so they're, you know, early on, brand new, you had Jarlaxle and you had Makos. And I think back then Dritz might have had a little bit. No, I think you just put in Dritz because he was a dark elf for Jarlaxle. I think that was it. So like they were trying to, you know, they you know, when the feats came in, I think they were just like they did a rework for Archon at one point. Not a rework for him specifically, but he might have gotten that gold find item when, I don't know if he had it from the beginning or if he got it when they changed, when they did the shielding, healing, and tanking update. I can't remember. I didn't do guides to core champions for a long time, so I don't know. I don't know that I tracked that. I do need like an animation, like something that I hit and the screen does a back in my day, and we do some fade. Yeah, that takes time, and I've got buttons for it. What's speed like in the game? There wasn't any. There's the answer. That's a short story. That's a short story. For years, there wasn't even a speed roll. There was a community. The community had given the speed roll to people, just saying, "Well, that's a speed champion," but there was no actual. There weren't any actual speed champions back then. Like, the old version of Minsk was the closest thing to speed people had until, I think, until Shandy. Wasn't Shandy the first speed champion? I don't know. I used to have them more in an order of release, and now I don't, so I'd have to double check. But yeah, they're like, there were no speed potions. There weren't potions. Well, there were no speed potions, I don't think. We had some of the other potions. When did they add speed potions? I don't think we had speed potions initially. And the fire breath potions were different for sure. I think maybe when they reworked that, maybe that's when we got speed potions. Because when Shandy came in, she was effectively like a speed potion. She was a free speed potion. But like fire breath potions originally did a percentage of a monster's health in damage every click. They didn't last very long. They were very short. Like the huge, the purples, only lasted like 8 minutes. They were meant to be popped for like a boss fight, and you just percentage flick through him. Yeah, it was really weird. And then speed stuff got added to the game, and suddenly people were using those to just go, like, to fly way further in the game than they should. Easily, because they're, even with armored enemies, an armored enemy has 50 segments. So that means every segment, to chew off a segment, you just need to do 2% of a monster's health and damage. And when the 8-minute ones were I don't know, 4 or 5%, I could tell them. I have one on my main account. That meant you just killed everything. So you instantly clicked through. You could click through everything as long as you could survive long enough. You could click through all the segments, and people were just, even with the armored stuff, but you could go to a non-armored area and just get so much favor because you could go all the way to what then was the ban wall. Because back then, if you got that far, they were like, "Oh, you're getting suspended for a day every time you hit it, because you shouldn't be here, because you only got here through some kind of exploit." And that was a combination of speed and those potions. Because they were doing that thing that we see nowadays where when you speed up a run, like everything, like these potions with speed potions on, these are ticking down at the same rate. But if you do that with an 8-minute potion, you're able to go so far. And so they turned those fire breath potions, they unhooked them from this and made them adventure time instead of client time, and they burned those out of people real fast. And then they gave us the new fire breath potions. That's, yeah, when they reworked Bud, they gave us the new fire breath potions. When they, not even reworked Bud, when they created Bud, because this game didn't even have Bud at the beginning. Sounds like we need a history of Idle Champions. I mean, I don't know that anybody's collected all of that. I don't know that most people care. Um, yeah, I mean they considered Minsk a speed champion, but I mean even when they gave the rollout and they gave it to Minsk, I was like, what you talking about? Because his effect was not good. It's better now. Better. Still not great. How about the worst bugs in Idle Champions? I'm not sure how you... I'm not sure how to define, like, worst. I guess. I mean... Like, to me, worst means the ones that horribly, like, impacted your gameplay in a very negative way. And I think there's only one that really stands out, and that's when... I want to say it was just Melf and Deacon that had that speed effect for, at the time, increasing enemy spawn speed. And for whatever reason, in a weekend boost, they decided to give the boost to Melf's speed effect. And enemies, instead of spawning over here, they were spawning behind the front line of champions and then walking off the screen and immediately making you go back a level, and then spawning behind and racing off the screen and making you go back a level. So if you had Melf and Deacon both in, you went backwards instead of forwards. You couldn't complete it. There was no way to kill anything because they spawned in an area that was basically considered immune to damage. Sort of. It was bad. So you'd had to take one or the other. As long as you took one, if you had them both in, you were done. Took one or the other out, you were fine. And they put in some kind of hacky fix for that, and I think that same hacky fix is still in existence to this day, because it feels like it. Because there are times where enemies spawn over here. I don't think they've ever really gone back and fixed that correctly. So that one was a negative, like a truly negative experience. I'm trying to think if there was ever another, like, a truly game-breaking bug. I mean, obviously there have been server outages. That's not the same thing. There may have been issues with specific champions that bothered people, but none of them stick out to me. I think to me, like, you know, there were bugs that are memorable, and like they were thinking it was an April Fool's joke, but there was a bug in the game where distractions were with, like, the flying birds that come in were upside down. Justin was like, wasn't that an April Fool's joke? And like, not originally. I think they may have added in later because people like thought it was hilarious. But they were literally loading in upside down, flying across the screen upside down. Yeah, to this day, who knows how that bug came about. It was funny. It was funny. Didn't ruin the game though. I mean, so arguably made it very humorous to play. Did they ever allow dismantles on core Evergreen champions since Ashara? No. Ashara was the first. Ashara was part of the first 3 champions to ever get a dismantle. They literally created the dismantle system for Ashara, Briv, and Human, and they were gonna. I think originally they were gonna test it with one of them, and then they just decided to do all three at once instead. And they've never, and then they decided, oh, we're never doing a dismantle on a core or evergreen champion ever again. So Dritz was not a part of the season, so did not get a dismantle. He got changes, but he wasn't a featured champion in the season, so that's how they got around that. Same with like Bruno or anything. Well, the black screen, like when the game casts darkness, that's still, I don't know. I don't know if they've ever really fixed it. I haven't run into it in a long time, but every now and then that still pops up. It goes away pretty quickly. Isn't there a bug that gave some players like E300 plus favor after doing offline calculations? I don't know, but that isn't negatively impacting players, so well, I don't know. Game is offering me a legendary dismantle. Under what circumstances would I actually want to use that? Okay, yeah, because this is a meta event, and when we have a meta event, you get legendary dismantles. There's no reason. I don't have any legendaries. It would pull legendaries and pigments off. Which actually. So here's what happens. You're going to pull any legendary effects off equipment, and it'll give you potions of legendary equal to the power of your legendary. And it'll give you any pigments you want back. So why would you want to do this? If you invested legendaries on a champion that you no longer use, you have other options, and now that legendary power is just kind of sitting there, and you'd rather move it to a new champion, or you have pigments on them that you'd rather move to a new champion. That's when you do a legendary dismantle. That's the purpose of it. There are some things that people like to play around with. They'll put like one legendary on every champion they have, and then they'll do dismantles on all of them, and then they'll have a stack of level 1 legendary potions, and that's actually less expensive scales wise to put legendaries, full legendaries on champions. People will play that game. I won't. I will, however, remove this froggy. Oh, I gotta hold that down. I will, however, remove that froggy. Because she's no longer part of the pushing group, Volo is, so I will put the froggy on my pushing champion, which is Volo. So I got a couple froggies I gotta put somewhere today. Yeah. Crandall's bug was funny. I was in the game from release and was only triggered 2 years later. I don't even remember what it was. I never ran into it. Yeah. Yeah, I've had offline progress load my formation, like come back, and it put me past 2001 when that was the hard limit. Yeah, I ran into that. But again, that's not negatively impacting. Those are just random bugs. And then there's just bad design decisions that got made. They weren't bugs, but they got fixed because they had to get fixed. Because they were horrible. They would have just seriously negatively impacted the game. And that's like, Barrowin, when she first came out, she would apply a hammer stack to champions, very specific champions based off attacks. Like if she attacked before they attacked, the other champion would get a hammer stack, and you could basically, you'd wait until a DPS champion attacked. You'd let them get a hammer stack. You pull them out. You pull them back in right before she was about to attack, and pull them right out after. And there was this manual play, very drag and drop manual play, of stacking up hammers on champions until you needed the damage from them. You left them in, and then they just blew something up because they had so many hammers on them. Lisa found that and went all the way to the ban wall with it. That's too much work for me. There was also when Crawl came out, so that got fixed. And when Crawl came out, his plagues weren't capped at 4 instances. They weren't capped at all. So you could, it wasn't like 40 stacks of Pilfer. You could have 400 or 4,000 You could have infinite stacks of pilfer. And so people wouldn't even like Silas was like, you don't have to push deep. You can just sit here on like level 5 or whatever, some lower level, and just manipulatively play this and build up stacks, and then suddenly everything your click kill is dropping gold as if you were, at level 2,000 or 3,000. Like the gold would just scale ridiculously. You end up with so much favor. That got changed real fast. Binwin was once the most overpowered champion in the game, but only if you had enough item levels on him, which back in when he came out, you couldn't get item levels easily. You had to pay cash to get lots of item levels. Someone realized, he was kind of the initial kind of pre-stack broken item level champion. And somebody spent the cash to do it, to make him broken, and then showed the devs. And they nerfed him into the ground, and he's remained there ever since. And that person, I don't think that person played the game after that. They spent a lot of money to take advantage of that. And they shouldn't have told the devs about it, I guess, if they wanted to experience that. Yeah, because he just got absolutely destroyed because of that. That's not why she was called Barrowin. That was her name. That's just her name. They weren't expecting people to do that gameplay. That's one of those, that's what we call emergent, or what is called emergent gameplay. When developers design a champion, or designers design a champion for it to do something specific, and then other people or players, it goes out in the wild, and players find out that you can do something completely different with it. That's what happened with Azaka farming. That was not something they ever thought was going to happen. That's not part of their design. But people figured out you could do that. Silisa figured out you could do that. Silisa figured a lot of that stuff out early on. They were big on finding these really weird edge case scenarios of champions and breaking them that way, and then telling everyone about it. So, why are my gems? That's fine. I'll take the 2 moons, because the only reason I'm pushing like for an hour is for the favor bonus. Honestly. Wow, no gems at all. Oh, that's right. I have 2. I'm like, I have 2 extra familiars? Because they gave us a familiar in this giveaway, too. Rumble the Angry Flump. Flump glows faintly, reflecting its moods and its color. Crimson means anger. Beware the angry Flump. Yeah, okay. So I now have 8 familiars. That's actually a good number. That means when I get another Modron core, I can send 2 familiars to a background party. I can keep 6 up front. Perfect. How much favor I'm shooting for? Just an hour of the potion. I know I don't have Shandy yet. I could have Shandy. Yeah, I'm sacrificing some time right now to. Here's the problem. If I only take this much favor, we're not going to be able to really level up champion. Here's what we'll do. We're going to throw one of those on to give us a little more gold. Whatever favor we can get. Arguably, I should have done like 30 minutes. And then done the hour with Shandy. We would have flown. Well, Would have moved a lot faster. But I will. I use RL for real life, but keep seeing people use IRL. Why is the N used? Because you're talking about something you were doing in real life instead of online. That was where it came from. Is online versus in real life. Those are the phrases. So you use IRL. Yeah. Although I can't stand those differentiations because I'm in real life right now. I don't come on, folks. We are in real life right now. Just because I'm interacting across a computer doesn't mean that this isn't real life. But there were a lot of people early on, yes, probably still now, who don't consider their interactions with people online to be real interactions. Okay. Not face to face can still be real. It is real. Not even can still be. It's a real interaction. People can lie to you that way just as easily as they can lie to you in person. Hmm. I mean, in person is the more appropriate phrase as opposed to in real life. Online and in person. But people don't want to shorten IP because then there's a whole, well, that could mean intellectual property, that could mean internet protocol. Like, so people at some point chose IRL. Have a work meeting with 5 people on the same floor of the same building. We use Teams. Huh? Okay. Look, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes it's more efficient to not be in the same room with people.
I just remembered it's Thursday. We have Dev Insights to raid. We should probably get out of this and move on to the next one. Okay. We're going to call it EO7. That's not enough. Oh, you know what? You need to check. Determining factor 175. God. Yep, no, we're going to do it anyway. Hey, we now have Shandy. You know, we're going to try to go real far, real fast. If we can. Boot Ashara out of this formation. And we switch to Shandy. All right, so now we have all the new champions that I wanted for today. We're going to start popping Electrums. Trying to get all of those champions. Quick snack for Starion. Another for Starion. But we got to get like 5 champions to full greens. At least we're going to try. Hey, 1,000 chests. Cool for us. Nice to know that now at this point we've opened 1,000 chests, though. Like, you think you're opening a lot of chests, but you don't know until you hit 1,000. Come on. Yeah, okay. Let me get down to like 50, and then we'll. At that point, we'll pause and see where we're at. Ooh, there's a blue. Pains me to see. Pains me to see an item for Artemis, but. Oh well. I should just. Let's just do this. I don't open this one button. There we go. Artemis, Dark Urge. Nope, just those 2. So we gotta keep going. Got blues though. Alright. Alright, let's go take a look. So here's where we're gonna go. There we go. All champions that have green gear. So we still need like 1 green for Artemis, 2 for Calyx, 3 for Shandy, so that's 6, and 2 for Starion, so 8. 8. This is why I was holding on to all these. You never know what you're gonna end up with. Yeah. Oh man, that's not what we want. That's blue, we'll take it, but there's 3. 4, 5. Not what we're looking for. 6. Nope. Nope. Okay, now we know we're white or better. 7. One more green. Ain't it? Shiny. Natural shiny on his Starion. Too bad it's damage of all champions. Oh, why couldn't it have been generational wealth? Couldn't have been generational wealth. Alright. Calyx still needs a green. Calyx still needs a green. Yeah. There it is. Okay. So now we are, if we open this up, we got nothing here. So now these are all of our greens. Technically now we could start opening golds for them. So I'm going to hold on to those electrums for the moment. But now any gold chests we have can go on those champions. Shandy in the party for the first time. Everybody give a welcome, a big welcome to Shandy. What's her last name? Do we know her last name? I don't know. Come on. Oh, the game broke. Thanks, game. Appreciate it. Thanks to you guys, I wrote further in a non-idle champions chat without my brain going glitch prior to hitting enter. Nice. Free foot? Okay. Well, speed potion's more of a middle name. Andy, speed potion, free foot. So what do I got over here? Got a couple silver shandy chests. Get rid of these. I have a gold in the first one. We can now open this Vajra chest because everybody's green or better. So we'll do that. We'll see where that falls. Rib got an item. And Caddy Bree got a blue. 2 blues. Nice. We'll take it. Let's go ahead and pop Shandy's blue. Damage of all champions. Cool. Okay. Silvers we can open. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Still holding on to the rest of these for now. For now. We will pop those platinums. We will. Now I'm like, should I burn the rest of those electrons? At 34. We're gonna unlock Miria next week. I think we're just gonna burn them. I think we're just gonna burn them. Lots of blues. Okay. Should have waited, but I didn't. So I'm gonna live with it. Yeah. What I should have done is open the platinums and then pop the electrums, but it's fine. What I really wanted is all those gems. Now I have 6,000 gems. And I have nothing to hold on to gems for. I don't need any more familiars right now, so we're getting a dozen gold chests. It's like Christmas. Did we get anything good out of them? That's the question. So far, it's all fodder. I mean, it's fine. We'll take these things, but what we want is an epic. There's one. Or speed potions. No, there's one. 2 potions of specialization back to back was a little rude. But we can turn that into speed potions. Wasn't the epic I wanted to see. Okay, didn't get back to another one, but we did get another speed potion. Cool. Cool. And we still, I mean, we can't even get Shandy online yet. This is why I was worried. This is why I was trying to go further, because got to be able to level Shandy up to her speed ability, or she doesn't help you do anything. So, yeah. Electrums can give epics for core and evergreen? No. Absolutely not. Electrums clearly state they give white through blue. Common through rare. It's the gold chests that give epics for, well, gold chests period give epics. Nothing else gives epics. Now, is that a regular gold chest? Is it a patron gold chest? The efficiency for opening patron gold chests is usually to wait until, well, for buying. I tell people not to spend their currency on patron gold chests until they're full epic on their core evergreens. That's why we have a tracker over there. Because we're kind of counting down to that moment. Because until then, we don't want to spend our excess patron currency on patron chests. I'll open free patron chests I get. I didn't pay for them. I'll take whatever they got right away. But I won't open anything else. I won't I won't spend currency on patron chests. Mm-hmm. $120 dash. That's what we want. We need to get Shandy up to 120. Increase the game speed by 25% when the formation hasn't been under attack for 30 seconds. That's the base functionality of it. I can't show off the feats. She's got some feats for that. Maybe I should have saved the gems for those feats, but it's fine. We're going to earn so many. I'm not worried about it. Not worried about it. We just got to get her up there. There we go. Almost there. And as always, there's a giveaway on Epic. So somebody on Steam is like, can I get it on Steam? No. It's like they usually give it away on the other platform within a few weeks. No, they don't. Why did people upvote that? Just hoping that's what's going to happen? That doesn't happen. If I change my microphone volume. No, hold on. Is that better? I don't know. Sometimes when things patch, they adjust stuff.
Yes, capital letters. Okay. Software be patching on a regular basis, and when it does, stuff gets reset in ways I don't want it to get reset. So I looked over it. When you said that, I looked over the usual suspect is that it resets the gain on my microphone right here, and I just had to turn it up one more bubble. So thank you for letting me know, because as much as I know it does this all the time, I totally forget to double check. Okay, so Shandy's going to kick in here soon. She has nothing else that's going to increase her speed. There's feats. There's feats and there's specs, but like she doesn't have an item for that. Her items aren't about her speed. That's why we like her early on, because we don't need to invest in her gear, really. So even out of a time gate, she's a great time gate champion, because what you really want is the speed effect off of her. And gear is a bonus. Gear is a bonus. Well, like every time Windows just, I think I just patched Windows recently. Windows likes to mess with stuff. OBS definitely likes to reset stuff. I saw Logitech just repatched, so that'll. I don't have any. I have Logitech stuff, but my mic isn't Logitech, so I don't think it would have affected that. But you know, something that got patched recently messed with the gain on the mic, clearly, because I don't touch it. I set it and forget it. Ideally, we want to get like 5 EO8 favor out of this push, but okay. So we have all these platinum chests, and the thing to remember about platinum chests is you want to treat them like gold chests. They have the same drop rules and guarantees as gold chests do. Hence why the first thing you want to do if you have a fat stack of platinums is gear up the champions, therefore, to green or better gear with electrums first. You do not want to waste a platinum on an ungeared champion, because platinums have a bonus rule. What makes them worth being called platinum chests is that if they drop a duplicate item, which if you've got green or better gear, they're all going to be dupes. You get an extra 30 item levels on that item. That's the power of platinums. So we wanted to take advantage of that. But there are no Switch players anymore lurking right here. So it doesn't matter what they think. Oh, nice. That's still going. Cool. So if I was really worried about Shandy for damage, she buffs within 2 slots of herself based on the number of Dex 15 or higher champions adjacent to her. So she has a build around. I only ever really just try to make sure that she's within 2 slots of whoever I'm trying to buff.
don't ever focus on the build around, because really all I care about if she's in my formation is dash. She also has explosive arrows, so when you get to the point where your party's taking damage, she starts attacking with AoE damage and buffs the damage of all champions based on the number of enemies she's hit with one of her AoE arrows. So the bigger the stack on the boss on the tanks get, the bigger the buff she provides. And spec choices. We can boost that agile allies based off Heroes of Baldur's Gate. In the formation, we can just buff explosive arrow by a huge amount. Or we can buff agile allies for each neutral or evil champion in the formation. I just go the time. I just go to the middle most of the time. There's numbers there that are helpful. And we saw 1 and 0, so the middle was going to be the biggest multiplier anyway. I used to play on Switch for a day. I hope Xbox and PlayStation players have better experience than Switch had. I'm going to say yes because the Switch, I don't know, the Switch always felt like it didn't quite have the power of an Xbox or PlayStation. And as you've seen, this game hungers for certain things. But what was worse about the Switch was that it can only get a patch once every 30 days. So if something got pushed that had a major bug, they weren't really allowed to fix it because Nintendo only lets you patch a Switch game once every 30 days. Yeah. Nintendo, the Switch is a great place to push a game that's just going to exist and your patch cycle is larger than 30 days. Like once every 3 months or something. But otherwise it's rough. I haven't, of the game studios I've worked with, the enjoyment of working with consoles went Switch at the bottom, PlayStation right above them, and Xbox above them. And then like Steam and Epic are all up here and everybody's happy and nice. And not having any issues. But like Xbox is, just an ease of use was all. I never heard anything real bad about Xbox. PlayStation though, I heard so much about. And then the Switch was just like, oh hell no, like we're not going to Switch ever. Because they just knew better. They knew better. So okay. Now we can look at feats. Right away, we get a green feat. Increases the effect of Shandy's dash ability by 100% for free. Boom. That takes us to a 50% game speed increase with dash up. You love it. This used to be a spec choice for Shandy, and when they reworked her, they turned it into just a free default feat. And we love that. We love that for Shandy. Here's one that we want, though. It is 50,000. Okay, I couldn't remember. Decreases the time it takes Shandy's dash ability to trigger from 30 seconds to 10 seconds. This one's huge. We love it. That's going to be it. We want that 50k feet at some point. Also, I don't know that these matter. Yeah, we don't need those. So we just want this one at some point. When we get to buying 50k feats, we're going to want that for Shandy. But to get this one automatically. That's great. That's really all that matters. So now, if we go over here, we're now at, what, 2.188 off of one 15-minute potion. That's only supposed to give us 175, but Shandy's boosting that again. That's the free extra speed we want from Shandy. She adds a multiplier into that speed. And it will help us move quicker through the game. And use the signifier here is this black arrow surrounded by, you know, purple or magenta or whatever you see that color as. Well, the trigger time, once it's active, it doesn't matter. The feat doesn't matter. But here's the thing. If you are gem farming, it's really about gem farming. If you are gem farming with a high level gem farm team, and you're not using, like, if you're not at the point where you've got like potions that are giving you 10x speed and you need Shandy, her speed effect isn't kicking in for potentially like 100 areas, because you might be like two-shotting an area and then the timer for her ability stops tracking the transitions. So it may only it may only tick down like for 1 second or 2 seconds on an area, and if you're lucky you get a second, depending on, like, if you're 1 kill clearing, it's like 100 areas. If you're 2 kill clearing, it might be like 50. And that used to be a strategy, was like, well, you don't want to set up a 1 kill clear because it takes too long for Shandy's dash to kick in. So you actually go faster if you're 2 kill clearing than 1 kill clearing. So, you know, mixing with Diana might help a bit now, but ultimately that 10-second switch was a huge boon for automated gem farming, any kind of automated gem farming, because she kicks in so much faster. She kicks in 3 times faster. So she's kicking in on a lower level, and you're getting that speed access sooner. Nowadays, with people just being flush with speed potions, some people just aren't even using Shandy anymore. But, you know, we still want it. It doesn't affect keeping it on. But if you do get to the point where, like, you take a ranged arrow to the face, someone gets off a ranged arrow before being insta killed, it will turn her speed effect on. It's going to come on faster again after that. But yeah, it's not about keeping it active. It's about the time it takes to get it active. Yeah, and Human, if we ever get Human, we better get Human at some point. He has a feat that's a mini Shandy. It has kind of a mini dash ability, except it doesn't have the timer on it. It just increases the game speed if the formation isn't under attack, but it doesn't have this cooldown. It's got a cooldown timer on it. Well, you can see the difference. What you're looking at is what level. If you're looking at a gem farm, what you want to look at without the feat and then with the feat is what area does the dash start on. Without the feat, it's going to take a while. If you've got a high kill clear, like if you're like at a 1 or a 2 kill clear, it's going to take a while before it kicks on, and you just note that area, and then you put the feat on, and then it's like, oh, that's way sooner. Right? And that adds up over time. Like, the more you're looping, the more of an effect you see. But again, only when you're in that window of, well, you know, you're not running 10x speed potions with Shandy. We're nowhere near that here, obviously, so. Yeah, once it's active already, that doesn't mean anything. Yeah, so that's what you were looking at. Yeah, that wasn't. Well, you're talking about you won't see the difference in your gem farm, and I'm not talking about the gem results. I'm talking about, like, you get the feeling that's going on. You will see that if you're watching how long it takes for it to kick in. What are we up? We're at EO6. I just want to run this. I'm hoping to get to 5 EO8. I don't... It's 7 minutes of potions left. 5 EO8 is going to make this the variant easy. I feel like we can finish the variant no matter what, but I'd rather, it's usually a goal line. If it's the 175 variant, I want 5 EO8 favor. All right, do we just want to gear up some champions? Let's drop some on a champion that I'm not going to use. The Dark Urge, fairly low level. What's his average item level? 2. So right now we have an item level 2, average item level 2, Dark Urge. Let's pop all the Dark Urge chests. All right. Here we go. 32 platinum chests. This is wild. 2 of these, 2 items are going to be guaranteed shiny. We will end up full epic after this. Well, will we? We might not. Honestly. 24 would be 3 epics. So we have well, there's a chance. Usually for me, in the 30s is full epic. Epic still on this. That's 500 item levels train. All right, we'll see. All right. What do we get? These I can't tell. Can't read them. There's 4 epics though. No, thank you. I do not want more. Nope, you got 4 epics. Okay. And we got one on the on the Urge. And on the spec choices. All right. I mean, what you want is really Ceramorphosis. All right, let's see what he ended up at. He's off that list now. 408. I told you. I said 300 to 400, and we got 408. Well, the 32 won't get you to 500. There might be an edge case scenario if you got the most amazing luck with epics ever. Yeah, 408. That's ridiculous. To have an item level 408 champion, that blows the power level of that champion above anything else we have on this account this early. Nothing can compete with that. Just from item levels. Let's do it to another champion I hate. Let's do it to another champion I hate. It's item level 1. Let's go Artemis. Okay, he didn't get a shiny flute, but he did get an epic flute. So the flute is his item that he cares about. He ended up full epic. Look at that. See? See, I told you. 30s for me usually goes full epic. He wanted this item to be shiny. Got the epic, though. This is the big item for Artemis. He ended up a 394 average item levels. 394. I think you're talking about like their actual item levels and not... Like I've got some items that are over 500, but the averages are not that way. I mean, this is going to make Artemis strong, but he's still not somebody I would care to. I'm not using Artemis. I'm not using the Dark Urge. The only times we'll use Artemis and the Dark Urge on this account is if we're forced to in a super highly restrictive variant. I'm not choosing to use them. Astarion. Astarion is born. See how Astarion ends up. We're at 10 shiny pieces of gear. Yeah, good. No, I want back out here. All right, Astarion. Oh, 5 epics. But 3 shinies. Damage all champions. Ceramorphosis shiny. Perfect. That's the epic we wanted. And Generational Well shiny. I thought that's what that was. He's immediately going into our Goldfind team, folks. This is huge. Our Goldfind team just got huge. Oh my god. Oh my god. Wow. Average item level 372. Let's see, he didn't even make it to 400. But that's fine. All right. Probably missed when you explained this. Why are you not in favor of Artemis and Dark Urge? Artemis is a late game DPS. Like, Artemis doesn't come online with his power curve until the late game. He needs a ton of item levels to be strong. Now, granted, we just gave him more item levels than anyone on this account, mostly. So he'd probably be real strong. I'm not going to use him because that's not what this account was about. It just happened to give that. And I, investing, like, if I could have chosen where those item levels went, it definitely wouldn't have been Artemis. And honestly, we're going to, I mean, we haven't even dropped the item levels on Karlach yet. She gets them too. And at this point in the game, in the early game, it is my belief that Karlach's going to scale better with those item levels than Artemis in the early through the mid game. Artemis needs like 1,000 average item levels and a golden flute. I didn't even get the shiny flute. The Dark Urge, who would be doing a lot of damage based off what I have right now, but again, we haven't put him on Karlach. The Dark Urge is a versatile champion, but not a high damage champion. Those item levels are going to help, but they're not going to cure his damage problem. His strength is that he can go everywhere. Not that he can do tons of damage. You can build it so that he's doing a lot of damage. And once you start, if you start focusing item levels on people and legendaries, yeah, they're gonna outperform other options because you've made a choice. That's not the path I want to go down. It's not the path I wanted to go down on this account in general. But even for now, what we haven't talked about is Karlach. Karlach with those same 32 chests. It is my belief, and we will test this out on this account, that she at this point in time would end up with way more damage than either of those two, and thus would be the choice if I was going to switch off Ishii, which I'm not. This is an Ishii run, basically. Because Ishii's already up to 139 item levels, I didn't have to invest anything into her. I just had to use her. She's just going to keep feeding herself item levels and scale on her own without any investment whatsoever. So, yeah. 10k, 4k, 1. Well, it's 10-4-1 ratio, yes. You want Artemis, you want to have like the highest amount, like we'll just say like 1,000, and then you'd need 4 on Artemis, then 400 on some of his other strong supports like Valentine, and then at least 100 item levels on everybody else. But it's a 10-4-1 ratio. He needs other people to have strong positional formation abilities. And it's like when you start trying to split that up among everybody, like there's champions in the early and the mid game that could take those item levels and be way, way better. Oh, you match Valentine in that? Okay. I see this. I don't bother with this stuff. But there are some of the stronger positional champions that want the 4 ratio. But it's like, I got other champions that I can put that on and it'll do better. Like I can put a couple hundred average item levels on a bunch of champions and have them outperform a couple hundred average item levels on Artemis. So I don't know. If I was going to switch to Dark Urge, would I also need to farm murder stacks and stuff anyway? No, I would just play and he would get those stacks from just playing. What we would do is we would, at the beginning, every time we went to choose his spec choice, we would choose the farm murder stack spec choice, the 3-for-1, instead of going for the AOE, which is the quicker wave clear. We would go for the farm, and you would just play with him in that specialization and let him feed himself as many murder stacks as he could. The big thing is you would want to farm him overnight. Well, he wouldn't get a lot, but you would want to do a overnight loop. He's not gonna benefit as much as Ishii because the simulation isn't going to give him as many kills, but he does need those kills. Plus, lower bench seat DPS is awesome for no or low level favor. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Artemis is over here, but don't care. All right, let's open some more chests. Calyx. Calyx is another champion that actually has the speed roll in a certain specialization. So they're going to go into our speed team. We got full epic on Calyx. Nice. 415 average item levels. I don't really care where the shinies landed. Chameleon Carapace actually isn't bad. You would rather have it on Unorthodox Alliance. But Calyx has a spec choice that makes some speed, so they're going to go into our speed team. That's Halson. Halson's going into the pushing team. This was from a different giveaway. I just never opened it. Archdruid of the Emerald Grove and Nature's Revival, so his pushing buff and his healing buff. Yeah, sure. I'll take that. That's 173 item levels. Yeah, I don't really care about the others. So he got the ones he needed. What else we got? Gale. Gale had some packs from this giveaway, from an older giveaway. Archmage's Insight, Nethery's Orb, and his ultimate. Sure. But Insight and the Orb are good. We will take that. And where is his shiny? Just damage all champions. Okay. Yeah, we don't care about Experienced Sage, so those kind of fell where they needed to. He already had his ultimate damage and ultimate cooldown. We would have liked this to be an epic, but that's okay. These two are the bigger ones. Then Miss Carlock. I'm just going to open the 32 pack for now. We'll save the 14 pack for after comparisons to... Okay, we got Rage and we got Health. That's what I really wanted to see. I would have liked ultimate cooldown reduction. Epic as well. Why am I? Hey, they need to fix that. She's full epic. Okay, she's full epic. Perfect. 421. Oh, one too many item levels. We could have been like 420 Blaze it on Carlock. One off. Close enough. It's a CD off by one error. She got a shiny on Fury of Avernus. That's okay. We don't really care. And an Experienced Gladiator, that's not going to be useful for us. I would have rather had the shiny here on her ultimate cooldown. She needs her ultimate back as much as possible. And I would have had like the other one on health. But it's fine. She doesn't scale off her items so much. But having her ultimate come back quickly is a big deal. So those are now the 5 strongest champions on this account. Like the ones from that giveaway. And the others are... Gale is up here competing. Gale and Halson are competing, but Ishii is catching. Ishii's catching them. So is Eliwick. That was a big day. What do we get on our collection quests? Just one? Really? Wow. All that. We got one. One quest. We got some achievements though. Artemis and Valentine are the 10. The mops are at 4, and others are 1. That makes sense too. That makes sense. Yeah, I won't have the other spawning feats for Calyx, unfortunately. How are we on favor?
EO7, but we're out of potions. Do I care? I think we're just gonna bail. Yeah. Oh well. All right. Get this last one done. Somebody went over their cap. Yeah, we're gonna 15 methods. All right, we have a lot of people who are not invited to this party. Okay. So we're gonna have to bring in some of these other champions. Grim can get up there and tank. Or no, Artemis is not coming in. Artemis is not invited. Oh god. Okay, this is gonna be a weird one. I may have wished I had that favor by the time we're done here. We're gonna go use your illusion. We're gonna go use your illusion, Gale. So we have another tank. Or at least somebody who can exist in the tank line without dying, I should say. Gonna take more than one of these. Now, one nice thing that did is that gave us a bunch more potions. All those chests dropped tons of potions, which means we've got more fodder for more of this. We can probably just go down to 10 now. Still think we go down to like 8. 5 of those. Those stay. These do not. Okay, these stay. And obviously those stay. Nice. So we could do like right now, we could do like 6 of these. And speed this up. So Caddy Bree is going to be in here as a support. She is a fantastic support. She just needs to be behind, somewhere behind the DPS. She buffs herself and everyone in front of her. We're going to want to go with... I want to go with this. I mean, he's going to be pulling him his way anyway. Or they are going to be going his way anyway, but... Alright. So what are the rules here? Threats of formation can't be moved or removed. Only champions that are neutral, evil, or Dex 15 or higher can be used. Strahd zombies spawn with each wave that are immune, except from Shandy. Okay. That's why some things weren't dying. That explains it. Let's open Shandy's chest. 2 blues. Take it. Ultimate attack, explosive arrow. 2 blues out of 1 chest. That was some great efficiency.
The fact that Shandy has to kill these makes no sense. She's not a DPS. Can't wait for a change. The legendary system doing raids back to back is becoming tedious and exhausting. I don't think that part is changing. I'm not sure what you thought was changing. I don't think the weekly raids part is changing. What they wanted to change primarily is, I think they wanted to get rid of the assault party, like, you know, you giving up a champion for a week. They wanted to get rid of the vials, like the vial cost. Probably Bahamut chests in general, because the scrolls are useless for most people. And then the forge, like, instead of forging legendary gear onto specific champions, they want that power to be more general, so that it can be used, like, so you don't put it all on one champion and then that champion is restricted and you're just screwed. They want to open up, you know, your ability to get power and then use it on everyone instead of just a single champion, which has really kind of killed off your ability to experiment in the game. So they want to, you know, that's a big problem they want to try to fix. But just doing a raid every week, I don't think that's changing at all. Hey, 5 crits in a row with Caddy Bree. I mean, I've always pushed for other changes to trials, like for me, I feel like rewarding people for, well, there's a, I can't even show it. The victory bonus to me is actually a loss punishment. I would have liked to have seen that go away, and they just balance the scales you get up accordingly. And then what I liked is, like, for every, like, full day ahead of, like, quicker than 7 you did, you get slight improvement to the number of scales that you get. Well, I don't know, slight, but you get a bonus. So then you're encouraged to continue to keep powering up your trials team and completing quicker, and also just making sure, like, you know, in part to attempt to address the whole, you've just got people that are there soaking up scales and not doing anything. Like, they're gonna get more scales if they're participating. I'd also like to just see it change from, I'd like to see a more of a raid Shadow Legends kind of structure. You know, this dirty phrase for some people, but when you participate in group stuff, there's 2 requirements. One, there's meeting the group goal, which would be running off Tiamat. But then there's your own personal, like, damage goal and getting rewards based on your own personal damage, as well as, you know, that only trigger if you complete the whole thing. I'd like to see that. So somebody who just comes in and doesn't really do much, they're not meeting, like, the minimum damage requirements, they're not getting anything. But if they're at least meeting the minimum damage requirements, then that was helping you get Tiamat done, and they're rewarded for doing even more. And something like that. And it could be based off speed, it could be based off damage. Something that's going to actually encourage people to work as a team. Because right now they just have this, like, punishment system that doesn't work. Because nobody cares about it. My leader last week had the lowest contribution. I mean, it might. That leader just means they started the party. That doesn't mean that they're going to be amazing. They don't need to be. I think you could do so. One of the things, so Monkey House said it'd be interesting if they had a trials team that has to sit out the next run, making you vary it up a bit, possibly with rewards specific to that team for the hassle. So in raid, there's a one way they do that, which you can't do here, is like for Hydra, you have to fight. You get like 3 different keys for Hydra, so you get 3 attempts at Hydra, but you can only use a champion once per key. So that means you have to have 16 champions that you have to have built out that can do that. Trials is a bit too long for that, right? Like 7 days times 10 champions. That's a bit too much. So I think you would go with the new one. They added a new what they call clan bosses. So it's a clan based thing to raid called the Chimera, and it has like challenges that are built into it. So like meeting, like there's just, okay, you do a generic thing. You could just go in and ignore the challenges and get some rewards, get base rewards. But there's extra rewards available based off how many of these challenges you do. And that's a function of like, what kind of champions did you use? Did you trigger these things while you were doing it? That could be a thing for idle champions. So you have just, hey, you can throw in your best team and you can smoke it and get the base rewards that you enjoy. You want some of these extra like focus, like special rewards? Do it, give yourself these challenges, complete these challenges by building out like specific combinations of champions, or, including certain types of classes or roles or whatever, right? Meet those requirements as well. Get extra stuff. That seems cool. But again, I don't know that how much they were going to change around the actual functionality of doing your trials, other than trying to remove the stuff that everybody hated, which was sending a champion away for a week and the vial costs. So one of the things they'd have to do with 10 miles was like maybe a pool of scales distributed based on damage. That can be real bad. Again, I think just setting a minimum damage threshold, like setting certain damage thresholds to get certain personal rewards. One of the things, if they were going to do that, though, that they'd have to fix is they'd have to allow you a minimum amount of you wouldn't be able to finish it faster because it would need to stay available potentially the full 7 days. Because here's the thing, there are people out there who will glitch their account and do, a bajillion damage on day 1 and so basically solo Tiamat. And doing that would troll everybody else in the group because they'd have no damage contribution, they'd have no rewards. So there'd have to be a fix. They'd have to do something to protect against that. So a minimum number of days, like maybe, yeah, sure, you finish your trial. Technically, your trial run would be, since it's now, you can finish it. If you finish it before 6 days, you can start right away. So instead of having to wait to 7. So maybe Tiamat is there, but at 0, like at 1 health or whatever, until the 6th day is done, you can immediately start a new trial, but you at least have those days to get your daily bonuses for damage. I don't know. They'd have to come up with a whole other thing. Patron trials runs. I mean, something, yeah, kind of like the patron system, patron challenges, but trials challenges. Yeah. I mean, if the rewards are good enough, you do it, right? I don't know. There's a lot of workshopping that, and again, I don't get to make any of these changes. So there would need a lot of work to come up with something that worked well and made sense. It's not gonna. We're gonna need another. That covers all the problem areas in what I just discussed, because there's a lot of problem areas there. I recognize that. Or if raids became a solo experience with a community part, the community has to reach score X within 7 days. You get X scales based on solo milestone you reached. I don't know. I mean, I like trials groups. I like grouping, but I could see that. This is where I almost wish that they had added, like with raid, it's a clan. I mean, it's your clan that's doing stuff. If they had like guilds in the game, then it would be just, they could do it just like raid. You know, your guild has to run off Tiamat, and if your guild does it within a certain amount of time, then you get the maximum stuff, and then your personal stuff is based off your personal contribution. Like the way raid does it is if your personal contribution earns you chests, and there's like multiple tiers of chests that you can get. And if your clan is successful in the overall goal, you get double chests. You get double chests. So there is, you know, your clan contribution can double your reward, can double everyone's rewards. But we don't have that in Idle Champions. So I don't know how they would. It is just making a community-based contribution. Either we'd never hit it or we'd always hit it, and it'd become pointless. Because, you know, if they make it challenging, you might never hit it. But then we get an influx of people into the game that are around that level. Everybody's hitting it. But then if a lot of people leave, then nobody's hitting it. Like when it's the entire community, things get weird. Small trials chat would be nice. No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. We had chat in the game once. And it was the most toxic thing. No, you do not want that in the game. You think you do, but you don't. Because they to put chat in the game, they'd have to also build in a way to moderate chat, and then they'd have to have somebody sitting there moderating it 24/7. They're never going to do that. You can't put a way for people to communicate with each other in a game or in your community without it being moderated. Someone who's allergic to joining groups, I don't think I'd like it being dependent on having a guild. I mean, right now it's dependent on having a group. So I'm just trying to come up with better ways to make it more enjoyable. And honestly, adding like group content, like guild-based content to the game would open up a lot of opportunities for things. You know, you find a guild with people you actually get along with in the community. The problem is there need to be a limit on the number of people in a guild. And then people get pissy about not getting included. Like when I started Raid, we had about 100 people or so. Somewhere between like 80 and 100 people join the game. And when we started up clans, we had to start up like 3 clans. Because of the main clan and then 2 overflows. But, you know, after about a year, it had all, you know, people had tried it and bailed, and we were down to just 1 clan. Yeah. Chat game with predetermined statements. No, because then, so here's the thing. They just turn some of those predetermined statements into the troll statements. It happens every time. Every time. I don't know. I mean, there's upsides and downsides with all kinds of things. I'm just tossing out ideas. We're not actually getting these things that I'm aware of. I'm just saying, I'm just tossing out. I don't know, they've never even talked about some of the stuff I'm talking about. The things I was talking about initially about here's what they've stated they want to do, that stuff, yeah. But like I said, I don't know that they've ever talked about changing how Trials itself worked. I think actually they might have,
Hold on, where's my last dev insights? Comments. I think they might have mentioned something. If they did, I didn't make a note about it. Figures. This sounds like me. Let me see if it was in the one before. Maybe. I don't know. I don't see anything jumping out at me. You unlock 80 feat slots across all your champions. Nice. Support fee. Yep. Shuffle that hand. I still only got one gem card out of it. We got rid of the flames cards at least. It looks like all we're gonna get done today really is the Shandy Time Gate, unfortunately. So Monday we'll have to do event stuff. Because I haven't done any of these. None of them. So that's gonna have to happen Monday. Start happening Monday, at least. What's my favor in the event? I didn't have to come out here. Why did I do that? E25, that's right. Ooh. Yeah. We should be able to finish Tiers 1 and 2 easily. But now that really does make me want to do another deep push for favor now that we've got these boosted groups. All these item levels on some of our pushing champions. Okay, we would use Gale in the pushing group. We'd use like Halson. I mean, honestly, Calyx may come in as a better support than Calliope. Well, we'd be tanking with Briv. Never mind. We're gonna want. Feel like we're gonna want Caddy Bree, but Sheila's does have some decent epics. We'll see how Caddy Bree ends up after the event. Caddy Bree would be the preferred. Volo. Black Widow. I was like, what the hell is that alert from? And I realized, oh, it's my throne wish list. Black Widow, thank you for the gifts. Much appreciated. Mango is a much healthier snack. Did not expect alert. Oh, yeah, I set up alerts. Dried mango slices are I love this as a snack. And also it's Easter time. It's Cadbury cream eggs. I appreciate it. Vola's gonna be in our pushing group, as much as it pains me to say. Astarion's gonna be in our gold find group and our pushing group, honestly. We'll push as far as we can with Eliwick, but he's gonna be an absolute beast. We're gonna want a pigment on him for sure. In fact, let's just I don't have to have him in the party to put a pigment. I'm thinking he should be in this party, honestly. We're gonna do one of Volo. Yes, on his spec choices. Sure. And then Astarion. Theramorphosis. No, Generation 1. Why not? Why not? Contracts. Oh, we got contracts to sign. Boom, boom. Give me all of these. All that stuff. Where were we going? We were going Eliwick. Still. One nice. Level 1 nice. We want more. This is probably going to push her higher than I was aiming, but oh, I need 2 levels on it. But that's okay. Yeah, it did. We're going to go with it. Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's blacksmithing contracts. All right. She is now item level 193. One gem card is now a 74%. We're just going to round up. 74% bonus. We are almost there, folks. We want this at 100%. That's why I'm just going all in on her. I want those gems. I want those gems. Just got a fresh mango to eat. I haven't had fresh mango in so long. Oh. When I was going to school in Mexico, the family I was living with had a neighbor down the street with a mango tree in their yard. And the mom would go down and get fresh mangoes for us sometimes. Oh, so good. It was the first time I'd ever had like fresh off a tree mango, and it was the best thing after dinner. The best. You have a huge mango tree in your yard. Oh, I'm so jealous. Only kind of tree. One of the few kind of trees, I should say, that I like. Mango trees. They would not grow here. They would not grow here. Probably 100% if I had the deck of many things feat. Maybe. We're gonna get Eliwick to 200 average item levels, and then we'll go back to Diana. I was gonna stop at 150 and then do 150 here, but I just want those. I just want those gems. Got the wrong kind of wet environment here to have mango trees. A little too wet. Yeah, that was the thing. Every day, we get up and walk to the college. We were within walking distance, so, and on the way, I'd stop at like a local corner store and get jugo de mango, like a little thing of mango juice. It was so good. I was just, loved it. And then I came back to the U.S. and I'm like, oh, I wonder if they're gonna have that same brand in the stores. And I found it in the stores and I bought one. And I took one sip and I was like, oh, what the hell did they do to this? And I look on the back, and of course they'd added all kinds of crap to it for freshness and whatever, and just destroyed the flavor. The only thing that I found close to it was current. There used to be a brand, there might still be, but I don't know what it tastes like now. I haven't had it in like 15 years. Kern's Mango Nectar was the closest thing I could find to the good mango juice from Mexico. No, it wasn't even the blend. It was literally a bad chemical kind of flavor from whatever acids that they added for preservatives that were not in the other. Were not in the others. It was just ugh. Even now I remember that. So looking forward. It's kind of like when like Doritos Salsa Verde. I first had those in Mexico. They were so good. And then I came back to the US and I bought a bag. I'm like, these are so good, everybody. And I took one bite and I was like, oh, this is not the same thing. Because in Mexico, they were flavorful. And in America, they tried to make them hot. And I was like, what were you thinking? That is not what that's supposed to be. That is not what that's supposed to be. I was thinking of doing Evil to the Core. Are there any tips or tricks when it comes to Elminster? I don't know. I haven't done it for Elminster. I mean, Evil to the Core is, hey, build your best evil group. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you there. I don't know who qualifies in Elminster. One of these days I will get back to my main account and find out. Often recipes for export are different. Yeah, they have to be because they have to meet the requirements of whatever country they're going to. That doesn't mean it's any good at that point. Cats. Oh no. All right, we're almost done with this. Hey, we got more gems. Give me that epic. I'm not out of that. Out of this one. Guaranteed, and it's for Jamila. That's fine. It still counts the tracker down. Still counts the tracker down. Jam Jam gets an epic. Her first epic. Yay. Hey, Dance Lover. Yep, we're coming to the end. All right. So, time gate closing early. Boom. Convert into Water Davian favor helms, please. Because that's where we're working. What we're twerking with. Currently. Let's go look at... What did we get done? You know what we're going to do? And I'm going to have to finish it off stream. Let's go set up Overwhelming Force. So, let's see what we got available. Because we need the influence for Vajra. So we have Gale, we have Grim, we have Nayeli. Okay. I mean, we're looking good through here. Actually going to switch this over. I guess we can use Beetle. Have either of those. Okay, okay. And this is here, so we can go like this. I don't think we need Beetle. Oh, that's Grim, excuse me. I don't think we need Grim. I also don't. I think we would want to do it like this. So we want Shandian leveled up to her speed effect. Alleywicken. There we go. Okay, we're gonna want Halson, just generically buffing. Be fine. Calibre in the back. We will throw. We're gonna have 50% chance to miss. A little survivability for dragon bait. Do I want Calyx in? Well, we need a few. Let's look at Calyx. I honestly usually wants the front row thing. He buffs non-adjacent. He wants an unorthodox alliance. I can't really control that at the moment. And then he wants to be in the front for Chameleon Carapace. So he's not optimal here. A better choice would be Briv tanking. A better choice would be Briv tanking. We're going to switch to Briv tanking. Dragon Bait can actually exist as a tank in the sense that they will help and buff and stuff from the back lines from anywhere. They just need to be within a certain number of spaces of your DPS, and we'll figure out how many spaces that is here. 4 slots, so we're fine. That reaches everywhere in this party. We can put him like here. There. We get our Makos back in the corner. Because unlike Baby, that's where we put him. And then we can have Azaka. Honestly. And this is fine. This will give us plenty of damage. Yeah, what are we on? We got 3s, okay. All right. And this is going to be, I'm just going to let this run. Got to go 475 areas. But here's the thing. This is a pretty beefy team. I mean, we've pushed to 700 now. We're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. And that will get us the influence we need for Vajra for her time gate piece, and I will be able to buy her time gate piece this week, because otherwise we'd be waiting until Monday. That'll get me this. And, you know, I think we might be in a tomb that doesn't have undead, but maybe we'll be killing distractions, so that'll get us some currency. And we'll be able to buy some perks when we're done. Monday we'll be doing event stuff. I think actually Monday maybe we should do a comparison of, oh man, maybe one of the event adventures. We do need to compare still the power of Karlach, Artemis, and Dark Urge. I really think Karlach's just gonna smash. But you know, people like to see proof. We'll have to do that next week. I don't know if that's going to be Monday or Tuesday, though. Monday's probably the better idea since we'll have people coming in from the in-game pop-up. Probably better. Dungeon Master providing a buff for the group. Yeah, it's just not great. Oh, I don't want to leave this pushing overnight. I don't have a way to automate that. Oh, actually. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that. I actually need to throw 475. Is that an hour? We'll try an hour. Try it. Quick damage. Just to try to go faster. Actually, you know what? No, we're gonna do that. So at my level, a purple and a blue plus Shandy is 9.281. Good to know. We'll do this. I don't want to leave it all night. I want to shut this off later and turn it into the overnight Ishi Modron farm, where we basically feed Ishi winner take all stacks. She's got 5 ready to consume to boost this up to what, 144. She's gonna get 5 average item levels a day from here on out. Am I playing on Epic? Yes. Yes, I am. Tomorrow is more south of midnight. Yeah, God. Return for more south of midnight amazingness. I've actually been watching other people play it as long as they're playing stuff that's before me because it's just so good. It's just so good. Well, E400 taking me to 1500. E429 is the goal in events to clear 1600. So yes, 1500, yes. But if you're trying to get to 1600, E429 is usually what you're shooting for. You're doing Elmiston Bear. Oh, that's completely different then. I don't know the scaling for regular campaigns. So I can't answer that question. I do not see Dev Insights live yet. Yeah. Once they go live, we will raid over there. We have a very nice number of viewers to raid in with. Is it live now? It didn't. Twitch didn't update it. It's live now. Okay, we're rating. And we're rating, and we're rating. I'll see you all tomorrow, folks, tomorrow for more South of Midnight. Saturday, over on the Cine Games channel, I'll be doing a guide to Astarian's Champions of Renown pack that we just got here on the Epic Game Store. And then back on Monday, again, we'll be doing event stuff. And maybe a comparison of Karlach, Artemis, and Dark Urge for people. Maybe we do that first, and then we do event stuff. See you then. Thanks for hanging out. Bye, everybody.